99.5 FM, WBAI New York, WBAI.org for all of our listeners tuning on the web. Welcome back to another episode of Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
The one and only Trinidadi, Panamanian Poppy, Rude Boy, Top Gunna, Suck Panya Mada, Giovanni England. Hi, everyone.
Yo, what's going on? Sebastian, this is recording live from LA. Gio is in Brooklyn. What's going on, folks?
What's going on, folks? And that song you just heard, Bastion, was that Lil Yachty?
Yes, it was from his new song, Poland, that recently came out the other day. I think it was leaked, then he just dropped it, and then it was like one verse, two hooks, done. Very short song, and I thought, we're about to walk to Poland. And I thought that was a fire song.
Is this true that the Polish ambassadors have invited Lil Yachty over? Is this true? I don't know if this is real.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because this is in reference for like pretty much taking drugs to another country. So walk is like lean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, walk is another thing for lean?
Yeah.
Why do they call it walk?
No, you're asking the wrong question. It's like I didn't know there's another word for lean. I thought lean was the word.
I just thought lean was exactly. I know lean. That's about it. Yeah. Cough syrup. I didn't know it's called walk either. Maybe after you're on lean, it has you in a trance and you want to walk it off. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know what they're doing nowadays, Bastion. They're marinating their chicken in lean. So, you know, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Talk about lean cuisine. You know.
Yeah. I definitely get it. But it was a funny song. I actually do enjoy it. It's one of those songs, once you hear it multiple times, it sounds more interesting.
I will say this, Bastion. I am one to admit my mistakes because I'll be honest with you. I didn't think there was going to be any longevity when it came to Lil Yachty. Okay, but here I am 5 years later, and I am completely wrong. This man is still here. Well, 6 years. 6 years strong, and he's still here. I didn't think he had it in him. I didn't think we would keep hearing about Lil Yachty. I'll be honest with you.
Interesting, because I'm pretty sure I spoke about him a lot back in our college days.
Yes, you have. That was when Kylie Jenner
little boat mixtape.
Exactly. That was when Kylie Jenner kept playing his damn song.
One Night.
Yes, there you go.
Classic.
That song.
Classic.
That was when he had the red braids.
Yeah. He still kind of does. I think that's something. But anyways,
that's his signature. Back in the day, that was when he was a kid. But now he's all grown up and he's still producing music. He's still featured on all the major artists' songs.
He writes too.
Right, he does write. Of course, he gave City Girls one of their biggest songs, "Note to Man." And when it was revealed that Lil Yachty was the mastermind behind that song, "Act Up," a lot of people didn't believe it at first, and then they had to throw Lil Yachty in the video to convince y'all that, hey, no, he actually was the mastermind behind "Act Up." So every time all y'all women is talking about red, give up, nigga, just remember Lil Yachty wrote it.
Yeah, I did think it was funny, but that does show that some artists that could really see the vision understand that they have to play every single field. So you have to be right. You have to write, produce, and make your own stuff as well. You can't just do one. You have to do multiple if you want longevity within the game. So there are some producers and, some rappers that were really, really hot. And I would like to use like Big Sean as a reference during his young days. Like when Big Sean mixtape and first album came out, there was a lot of other rappers around his caliber that was only popping for that year. Then when you go to like say Big Sean's second or third album, they no longer exist. But they still were eating because they're producing for other up-and-coming artists as well. So that's kind of the game if you could do it correctly. Or you could be like, like a 6ix9ine or Lil Pump, just kind of just disappear into the ether, just gone.
That's right. Those are a lot of the 2018 clout chasing rappers that was the dub of that crop of talent back in 2018, colored hair, face tattoos, and now a lot of them you don't really hear much about them anymore. And when you do, I always keep hearing the J. Cole 1985 effect, especially when it comes to Lil Pump. He has one more year, got one more year to join up with Love and Hip Hop Miami. I feel it coming. I feel it. And once he joins, then J. Cole will be a true Nostradamus. As far as 6ix9ine goes, well, we haven't heard much about him since I don't know, since he came out of prison 2 years ago. And
Yeah,
that was 2 years ago.
yeah. Clout is very different in music. I like to say
Yeah.
clout in acting could get you like a role for like a couple movies and TV show for like maybe 2 or 4 years because it takes a while to produce stuff. But like clout for because I was talking to you about the House of Dragons. Well, there's a lot of young actors and actresses that were only there for the first 5 episodes, and they're no longer in the series anymore. But I could tell you, like
Mhm.
they have their own fan base based on just 5 episodes. Now that they could go on with that clout. Unlike rappers, you could have a really good year, a really good mixtape. Doesn't mean next year's
Yeah.
promise the same thing, you
I
know.
mean, shoot. Last week we talked about the rise and fall of Lil Baby.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, not Lil Baby, but Da Baby.
the baby,
Sorry,
the
I get
baby.
confused still.
Yeah,
We talked about the rise and the fall of the baby. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this man was one of the hottest rappers out here, and now just man, he just tanks. And a lot of well, he thinks he's being blackballed, but no, it's just, in my opinion, people are just tired of the same flow and the same cadence.
I do believe there is a type of like talent that you need to overshadow like the being blackballed because you can't black like fans can't blackball you. The industry can. But when the fans
Absolutely.
could like look at your talent and said, "Hey, we heard your first 2 albums and it was cool. We're hoping for more or something different, but it's the same thing." And like, what could you do if you produce the same album multiple times? That's not how music
Exactly.
works. Well, so it's all about pushing forward. We got to understand what the blues and the jazz musicians were doing. Yeah, they're all on heroin, but they understood that the future is the key. You got to change your style. You have to be better than your last joint. But
Exactly. And that's how I view you, Bastion. You're always every year you're reinventing yourself. Okay, you make beats, but now you're really good at UX design. You're also really good at a lot of the Adobe applications. You always find ways to reinvent yourself.
yeah, and it's difficult to think that because I'm from the age of listening to Kanye West a lot from like 2003. So I was
We're not
extreme.
talking about that
No, we're
now.
not talking about it. I know,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it's important to understand like the influence of looking to what's next. So whatever came out from 2003 from like Outkast and then just disappearing. And then looking at where the music was going, that's where I was like, okay, I gotta follow this trajectory of like being what's next, what's the future, and what's the next step. So I use just Kanye West as like a timeline on like when I started listening to music, which was like it was like 2003, so 9 years old. So when I was really listening, it was like from 2003 all the way to now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an interesting timeline. A lot of things, a lot of things has changed, a lot of things has happened, but
Oh,
just like that,
have they?
but just like the timeline, like you have to evolve eventually. So
Absolutely. And you know who's been evolving lately? Well, not really evolving. They've just been doing some no duh type of stuff. And these were things that I've wanted them to do for the longest, but only now they've been doing this.
mm-hmm.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Black Yes, Black Seinfeld. We've always talked about McDonald's. We always wanted McDonald's to do certain things, bring back certain things. I remember when they started doing the celebrity meals, the first one being Travis Scott. The number one thing I kept saying was, what would make this thing, it would make this Cactus Jack meal go insane is if they come out with Travis Scott Happy Meal toys. If we come out with some sort of Happy Meal toys that go with the celebrity meals, that would be gangbusters money because McDonald's meals, the celebrity meals are just it's just regular McDonald's meals. Like you've had this stuff before, but if it comes with a toy, that's what's gonna set it off. But finally, Bastion, McDonald's has taken my advice, not so much by attaching a celebrity to it, but they've made their own McDonald's adult Happy Meal.
Mm.
And guess what they've been doing too, Bastion? They've been coming out with the toy, which is the key ingredient to making a Happy Meal a Happy Meal. The toy. And so these sales have been going crazy. So the Happy Meal comes with either two things, right? It's either the Big Mac, the fries, of course, the drink, and then the toy, or instead of a 4-piece nuggets or the 6-piece nuggets for the Mighty Kids meal, shout out to the Mighty Kids meal, it's the 10-piece nuggets with the fries and then the drink and the toy. And what's been happening as of late, Bastion, is I've been seeing this all over TikTok. A lot of McDonald's employees are upset because the only way you can get the adult Happy Meal is through the drive-through or the app. They've been getting a lot of orders for this adult Happy Meal, and yeah, they haven't been having any fun making this meal because of the high demand for the meal, and they've been running out of the toys, which you already know how people feel about the toys. You can't run out the toys. That just takes away from the whole experience. Okay, it's sort of like when we went to go get the damn Szechuan sauce from the whole Rick and Morty thing, and they didn't have any goddamn sauce, and we were bummed out. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting because it kind of goes to my theory on what Nintendo has been doing with the Nintendo Switch. If you watch any of the commercials or who these products are for, it's mostly for adults. It's
Yeah.
like these marketers understand you don't have to market towards kids for them to whine about it to parents and for the parents to buy a set product. You pretty much just have to sell the product to everybody and the kids will eventually get it. But you're mostly selling it to the people that have money. So
Yes.
yeah,
And
I do
also, I
believe that.
I think it's interesting that you say that too, is because we were the kids that wanted the Happy Meals when we were younger. And of course, we had the parents who, of course, gave us the famous lines, well, do you have your own McDonald's money? And now that we have our own McDonald's money and that we're old enough, they're starting to market to us again. They're starting to market to the adults because when we were kids, we wanted those things. And now that, as you say, we have the money for those things, they're back to marketing towards us again. So that's why you see a lot of nostalgic things coming back into light. That's why I guarantee you, once that damn Mario movie's coming out, it's going to be packed full of adults.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be just filled with, I could say, at one point in time, this was the prime when they were a kid. So that's who it's kind of marketed towards. I'm telling you, like, 8-year-olds not going to understand the complexities of Mario. They like Mario Kart, but they don't understand it's a whole complex thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it is interesting.
And also, we've always talked about here on this platform the constant declining sales of McDonald's goods, especially when it comes to fast food now, because as we're older, we have more choices and we understand that McDonald's isn't the best choice when it comes to fast food. And now we have uh, fast food that's a bit better than McDonald's. That's a bit fresher than McDonald's. You have your Shake Shacks, you have your Five Guys, you have your Smash Burgers, you have all your different sort of burger chains, and of course you can always go to Dan Bodega here in the city. But now that we're starting to see these huge corporations sort of cater back to that inner child that we once had, I think it's a smart move on McDonald's part. And I would like to say, I think they finally listened to Black Seinfeld, because why else would they come out with this damn toy after you kept telling me for all this time, oh, they're closing down all these factories for plastic and da 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 da. But here we are with some more toys.
Yeah, I always thought they were lying about that. But I do want to say it's I think it will work for a couple of years, then it will die out. It could work for
Yeah,
maybe
I
two,
agree.
3 years, and then it'll die out because same way I feel about like celebrity meals that we kind of spoke about a lot, especially when Travis Scott did it. Then I think Jay Balvin,
Sweetie,
Sweetie, uh,
J Balvin, BTS,
BTS, like those are the ones you would
Bad Bunny, I
expect
think.
to do it, right? And then
Mm,
of course other brands did it. I think Popeyes did it with Megan Thee Stallion,
yes,
and
Burger King did it as well.
with who? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember Nelly had his own meal.
Okay, see, it gets to the point where the market just burns itself out very quickly. Because I do think like Sprite and like rappers work because commercials and events that Sprites could host and they just come and perform easy,
Yeah,
right?
and in default, Sprite has always been the black people soda. I don't know why, but that's just how it is.
And then you
It
have
is.
like Arby's, for example, and working with Pusha T. Like, but that's always been a weird thing.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
just going back to what I was trying to describe about like this is pretty much it just burns itself out, and it's just
Mhm.
marketing thing. What I think McDonald's needs to work on is just creating or just taking the foods they sell from in other countries and just bringing it to the United States in those pockets.
100%.
So I know they test market, they create different ideas, and it's just beautiful in overseas. And of
There
course, they
are.
use better flavors, better natural flavors and stuff. But to bring it over here, I think people will have more interest in what they do.
I agree. I know that there's some McDonald's locations. I know there's one in like Florida, if I'm not mistaken, where it's the biggest McDonald's in all the country, and it has every single food item from all over the world. I know they have their own spaghetti, their own pizza, stuff like that. I remember going to Paris one year and stopping in at McDonald's because I didn't like French food. Sue me, y'all need some flavor in your food. Stop with all that damn butter.
It's a
But
lot of salt.
anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, it's not for me, man. I understood the beauty of putting hot sauce in your bag after going to Paris. Trust me. But anyways, I went to McDonald's as a safe haven, and of course, things were a bit different. I don't know if you know this, Bastion, but McDonald's have their own potato wedges, and it was freaking divine, bro. Like it had nothing on the KFC wedges. I thought the KFC wedges were like top tier, but no. Those French Parisian McDonald's brown potatoes, as they called it. God damn. They need to bring that over to the States immediately.
Yeah. See,
Immediately.
it would be interesting, but that's not how they think. And for us as
Yeah, I know.
consumers, as long as we don't like over consume, I think it's fine. But what do you would you participate and get one of these adult meals?
No, because I think the toys suck.
What are the toys? Did you explain it?
Yeah, so I actually didn't explain it, but the toys are basically I don't know if you remember like the McDonald's mascots. So like Grimace and Mirror McCheese and the Hamburglar. That's all it is. It's them.
Oh, just
They don't even
classics.
have Ronald. Yeah, they don't even have Ronald McDonald as a toy. They just have some jabroni with a hat that's smiling.
It's a
I
Jabra-
guess that's the Happy Meal. Yeah, that's all that
I
is.
do think that's interesting if they're selling the OG characters that they no longer could do because it's not good to market like cartoons and food together. They kind of
Yeah,
made
now
it
that you
illegal.
mentioned it. Yeah, now that you mention it, I rarely see any like Toucan Sam commercials anymore or Tony the Tiger commercials anymore. I don't see
No,
or
no,
even
they still do those, but not at the large scale as they used to.
okay.
Because there used to be it used to be much worse,
Yeah,
especially
there
with
was
those like random sugar meals that they put on
Cookie Crisp.
TV. More complex than that. Like let's say Buzz Lightyear cereal,
Ah,
and like
okay.
that no longer exists. Like they're no longer can, and I think it's illegal to just run these like quick small 1 year campaigns of these sugar like very sweet breakfast cereals. So they kind of removed that. So yeah, a lot of things have changed. Like from just talking about 2003 again, from
Mm-hmm.
2003 to now, the way our commercials are just are not the same. It's designed to be better, but I do think what the government have hasn't done is to remove the ingredients.
Oh,
You
yes,
can
of
remove the
course.
product placement, but you also got to remove the ingredients, and we haven't removed the ingredients at all. We haven't touched it.
Absolutely. Absolutely not, because apparently, if you go over to Europe, there's several substances and food that are banned that you can all find here in America. So I think once they start banning those items that we see, like there's something in box mac and cheese that's like really bad for you, and it's not found overseas at all, but it's here in America. So I totally understand what you are saying.
Yeah.
Hmm. But also, again, McDonald's is playing into nostalgia. And I don't know if you remember their Halloween trick or treat um, boxes that they used to carry, the plastic boxes that they used to carry,
Was it
but
with
they're bringing
UNICEF?
that back too. Nah, it has nothing to do with UNICEF.
Okay, it's something else then.
Yeah, it's something completely different. But during every Halloween, McDonald's would they would give all the kids like their own trick or treat baskets, plastic baskets, and now they're bringing it back. So one was like a how is one was like a it was like a pumpkin, it was like a jack o' lantern um plastic pail, and then another one was like a ghost one, and then the third one was like a Frankenstein looking one, so green with some hair on it. So
Interesting.
they're bringing that back too.
I do think this is probably a post COVID thing. Like they have all these ideas that they can actually work with, like things to bring the customer back into.
Mm,
And I do think it's probably working. I do think people are
working.
uh, more outgoing, more likely just to go to places compared and still wear a mask or not wear a mask. Because this quick question to you: are you still wearing a mask, Gio?
No,
Oh,
I'm
there's
not wearing a
nothing to be
mask.
hot about, but I do wear a mask in certain like places, but not as
Okay.
much as before. So, like if I go to a grocery store, I'm not wearing a mask anymore.
Oh, okay.
But if I'm taking like the train or a bus, most likely.
There's still some people that will wear their mask when they're on the MTA, but a good portion of people stopped. I guess it'd be a good idea to start wearing it again because the weather is consistently changing out here now. For example, one day it was 75 degrees, now it's 60 something degrees. And of course, we're in that era now. We're in that sweet spot where when you wake up, you get that nice fresh apple crisp sort of chill in the morning. And then as the day progresses, it gets warmer. So I think it'd be good to start wearing a mask again. Layering is becoming a huge thing right now in the month of October.
Interesting. And speaking of different type of smell and flavors, pumpkin was it pumpkin spice flavored oat milk?
Oh yeah. So if y'all follow me on Instagram, which you should at West Indian Jesus, I took a picture of something that I found in my fridge earlier today, and my lovely manager said she was gonna get this for me. This was pumpkin spiced oat milk. And you already know how much of a pumpkin spice whore I am. I love pumpkin spice, damn near everything. Okay. So this was a new thing that has not crossed my radar because one, I don't go to Trader Joe's, but apparently this is a real thing. And she kept telling me, like, look, you'll understand how popular this is. She lives in Jersey. So believe it or not, Bastion, pumpkin spiced oat milk, it sells out pretty fast, which it kind of doesn't surprise me at all. But hey, she bought it for me, and I'll give you my full review. Opening up the package and pouring out some of the milk first, I was shocked to see how orange it was. Like, this is orange milk.
Okay. Okay. I think I have an idea of what it's going for, but yeah, continue.
And so I added it to my coffee because, I'm becoming that person now where I'd like a nice cup of Joe in the morning. And I'll be honest with you, the flavor, it has an aftertaste to it. And that aftertaste is the pumpkin spice. So it's very faint at the end, but if you're someone who automatically likes pumpkin spice flavored anything and that pumpkin spice taste to it, I think the milk wouldn't upset you. The milk wouldn't, it isn't evasive in any way. It doesn't like sneak up on you. It just has that pumpkin spice aftertaste. I didn't try it by itself because no way would I try pumpkin spice milk by itself. But adding it with something, it adds a different layer of flavor to the coffee.
Interesting. So the way I'm hearing, if I had a coffee shop, would I get that or would I just continue getting this syrup pump?
That's a great question, and I will be completely honest with you. Continue just getting the syrup.
Hmm.
Just get the syrup.
All right.
Get this.
So when you said that, and then I did see the picture on your Instagram, I was like, oh, okay. So this is basically like a competition to eggnog.
It is a competition. Well, not really a
Okay, fine,
competition to
not
eggnog.
competition, but something in the lane where they will create X amount of stock by like was it October, so September. So by September, not even like end of August, right? End of August, they're pushing the pumpkin spice this year.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Because
by
you can start getting that crap during the end of August at Starbucks. Yes.
end of August, they will start producing and pumping those into all the Trader Joe's. Then as October, it'll probably be like whatever's left over, and
Mm,
then the eggnogs will kind of come in starting November, because you cannot bring eggnogs any further because no one's drinking that. It has a seasonal taste to it.
it is.
So
And
yeah,
pumpkin spice is definitely seasonal, but I think pumpkin spice you can enjoy it up until like at least November. You can enjoy it
brisk
until November.
weather.
Brisk weather, yes. I think by November people still enjoy pumpkin spice a little bit because of course you still have uh the family gathering day holiday, which isn't huge anymore, but it's still a thing. I know that. Oh, shout out to all you Canadians out there that listen to Black Seinfeld. No, y'all just had y'all family gathering day up there in the Great White North. So, congrats to y'all. I don't know what y'all do. I don't
Family
know.
gathering day is more like discounts at Best Buy.
Oh yeah, I don't. I don't, Canadians, do y'all have like a Black Friday thing after y'all family gathering day? Like, I don't know, honestly, genuinely, I don't know.
I'm sure it lays over. I'm sure it lays over.
So wait, so would the Black Friday happen in November or just like the day after their family gathering day? Because their family gathering day works differently. It's not on a Thursday. It's just on the 12th. So any day of the 12th, like that's when it is. So I don't know. So for example, will there be like a Black Thursday since it's now the 13th, or would it be a Black Saturday? I don't know how that works.
Just to explain to you, it's a whole week thing. Like it's not necessarily a day thing anymore, and hasn't been a day thing for the past like maybe
Yeah,
5 years.
yeah, you're right. But
So
I'm
it
saying
could,
we get the day off though. You know what I'm saying? We still get the next day off though. That's what I'm saying here in the States. I don't know if they do that up north. See what I'm saying?
something to look into for sure.
Or hey, if you're Canadian out there and you listen to Black Seinfeld, please answer our question, and you can do so by going to our email address, which is blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. Please let us know. Hey, do you guys have a version of a Black Friday right after your family gathering day, which is Thanksgiving? Do you have something like that? Please let us know. But also, if you want to ask us any more questions, if you want to submit any music to us, because I know a lot of you do, trust me, we take a look at it. We just don't like it. Please, again, blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. But also, hey, you can follow me at Instagram, West Indian Jesus. But also, why not Black Seinfeld too? Black Seinfeld NY over on the IGs. And while you're at it, I know you're a Twitter person. I'm a Twitter person. Bastion is starting to get back onto Twitter
Once a week.
slowly.
Once a week.
Yeah, that's right. I see him creeping on there every now and again. Please, Black Seinfeld NY on Twitter. That's right. And of course, shout out to all of our YouTube listeners and YouTube viewers. Please leave a like, share, follow, drop a comment, hit subscribe. We are also available on YouTube at Black Seinfeld. Did I miss anything else? Oh, podcast listeners, we already know about y'all. Y'all already subscribe. We don't have to tell you what to do because you're already on Spotify, you're already on Stitcher, you're already on Google, you're already on Odyssey, you're already on all of those platforms. But hey, just let your friends know what we're doing over here. Let your friends know about the month of October, the month of Spooktober, where Bastion and I talk about some really screwed up stuff. I know a lot of y'all loved last week's episode. I kept hearing nothing but great things about it. You all are sick freaks, but thank you very much. I worked hard on that episode, so I'm glad to see y'all enjoyed me talking about cannibalism and decapitation. You sick bastards! Thank you very much.
All right, let's get into the first song.
Yes, let's get into the first song.
And
First off, by the way, Bastion,
yeah,
that Dahmer series is probably it's the second biggest series ever to be on Netflix right now. So
yeah, I saw.
yeah,
I saw.
okay, okay,
I think the
cool.
second English show,
Yes, second
Englishly
English, because the
speaking
first
show.
right, because the first big show to pop off on Netflix in a major way was, of course, this Squid Games that
Squid Games.
that
Okay.
that happened last year, which you still haven't watched, by the way. But I
Osmosis. I
digress.
know
My point.
everything.
Right.
All right, let's get into the first song. The first song today is going to be an old Kid Cudi joint, Releaser. All right, it's a very nice, chill, creepy vibe. Check it out.
See, I'm tired of you, Bastion. Why do you want me to wrap up this song?
No.
Okay, see, I'm sick of you not giving Kid Cudi the proper respect that he deserves. Okay, and this is coming from someone who's like, "Oh, I'm a huge Kid Cudi fan. I'm a Kid Cudi fan, and we're gonna play some old Kid Cudi." Now you don't want to hear my man doing his hums, and you don't want to hear all the bells and the whistles of the track.
Don't make it sound like that. It's just a very long song, and it repeats itself in terms of energy. So that's why I left and came back with a glass of
Uh
water.
huh. You know what, folks? That was Kid Cudi, and go ahead and listen to his last albums because Bastion is not going to tell you to do so. Intergalactic, based on the Netflix show. We have not watched it yet,
Next
but
movie, if
trust
anything.
us. Oh, sorry, Netflix movie Intergalactic. Please watch it. Okay. We have not watched it yet, but just watch it, okay, to show Kid Cudi some love and some support because Bastion over here keeps side eyeing Kid Cudi, and I'm sick of it. All right, he did it just now. He did it like 2 years ago when Man on the Moon 3 came out, and I'm tired of it.
Anyways, yo, Gio, I had a very interesting weekend. This
Tell me about your weekend, man.
Since I'm in LA, I'm very, very close to Universal Studios, which is probably like a 27-minute drive if there's no traffic. And apparently, what's huge out there, especially for like the high school kids and college students, is the Halloween Horror Nights. Now, me being a New York native, I think the closest thing we have to Horror Nights are like maybe like personal, like homemade haunted houses, or if you go over
Yeah.
to New Jersey, Six Flags. Not really a haunted house; it's pretty much just like a Six Flag experience with spooky things happening as you walk around.
Fright Fest.
Fright Fest, and it's okay. I went to Fright Fest. Have you?
I've never actually been to a Fright Fest ever.
Yeah, it's okay. Like if you like Six Flags, you like it. Anyways, Universal, what they did is they kind of split the day up into two. So in the
Mhm.
morning and the afternoon, you have your regular Universal experience, all the rides, all the food, mediocre food, and all the Harry Potter and the Simpsons. It's beautiful. All right, it's a fun place
Nice.
to be with the family. And then they kind of cut the day off around 5:30 in order to bring the Halloween Horror Night, so you could get like a separate ticket just for that particular thing. So I went on Friday and Saturday. So for Friday, I had like the whole day from 2 p.m. to nighttime, 2 a.m. And on Saturday, I just got the Halloween pass, which is from like
Mhm.
7 o'clock a.m. I got there at 5. So it's from 5 a.m. I mean 5 p.m. My fault. 5 p.m.
Right.
to 2 a.m. Yeah.
Question: if you don't get the Halloween pass, do they kick your ass out at 5 p.m. or how does that work?
Yeah, you have to get the whole day pass in order not to get kicked out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
they do kick people out. And to be honest, I do think Universal, especially this one's a little bit different from Orlando.
Yeah, because I didn't even know there was one in LA, to be honest. I always knew about the Orlando, Florida Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Like that's legendary, but I never really hear much about the LA Universal Studios.
Yeah, and I feel like that's their own glorified Six Flags in a way because they will have events, and I do think it's very local. Like people locally would go there. That's what I was feeling when I was out there. I didn't feel like I was
Ah, okay.
surrounded by a bunch of tourists like myself. When I went to Universal in Orlando, I felt like everybody was a tourist. You could just tell by how they walk, how they move with their kids. But over there,
How they dress.
how they dress. But over there, like over here, and I'm in LA, right? It felt like everybody's out with their family,
Oh,
right?
that's
Everybody just
interesting. It's like
hanging
your
out.
version of Six Flags.
That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. It felt
Oh,
very local, very pleasant in that way.
okay.
So like I said, you go walk around LA, you feel like you see the same people there. So that's like my biggest plus. I actually do find that very joyful, and I probably will go there again. The tickets were a bit much, like like 100 for a head, a little bit cheaper for like the half
Mm,
day. But you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, type thing. So it's like an event, like you save up maybe 3 months and holla all your friends and go and check it out.
question, because Six Flags does this thing where if you get a Coke can, you know what I'm saying, one person gets in for free. Do y'all have an equivalent? Like, oh, if you give in like a LaCroix can, you get to bring in someone from Universal for free.
I don't know how that works, but I do know there is a resident discount, and all you need to show is proof
Oh,
of
nigga, you a
address.
resident?
No, but I don't have.
You a resident?
Okay, so the thing about proof of address, and this is something I learned working in the car industry, you need
Mm-hmm.
proof of address, which means you need a bill, like something genuine, like a real thing that has your
Right.
name and your address.
Oh.
I
Oh.
do not exist in LA still because
Oh.
when I signed my lease, I didn't want anything to be like connected because I was
Connect.
still working in New York
Oh,
for tax
oh,
purposes.
Bastion's a criminal.
Not a criminal. I'm
Bastion's
not
a
making
criminal.
money in
He's
LA
a
that
criminal.
at that time. I just signed a lease in LA, but I was not living at that time, so I didn't want anything associated with me because I was still living in New York. All my stuff
Right.
came to New York. Check Amazon. All right. All right. Anyways, now I'm here. I've been here since March, February, March,
Right. You
and
working over there now? I'm sure you
oh,
get
my
like
pay
some sort of
stubs.
deposit.
You
Right. There
smart
you
man.
go. Yeah. Yeah.
All
That's how
right.
I've been around the block a couple times.
Okay.
There you go. Using that pay stub.
All right. My pay stubs, they do have it. Okay. All right. So I could use that now. I couldn't
There
use it
you
before,
go.
which is strange because I guess ADP is still connected to like all my bills, so it still shows my last job, stuff
Oh
there.
shoot.
So it's interesting.
Oh,
It's pretty interesting.
oh,
But that just means most of these corporations use the same software.
oh hell yeah, they do.
All right. So, just talking, just giving you like the setting about like Universal. It was pretty fun. It's called the Halloween Nights. They had like a bunch of haunted houses. That's kind of what they were doing, and there was like scare zones in where you're kind of walking and navigating, and whatever is creepy. It could be like this tall scarecrow just creeping out people, or people running around with
Mm.
fake chainsaws. They get up in your grill, and that kind of is the
Ooh.
fear.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really really fun job. So I could just list a couple of the haunted houses. Like they had the Universal Monster Legends Collide. They had the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Nice. Oh, nice.
This was iconic
Yeah.
in the horror film,
Yeah, it's a horrible ass movie.
but it has its
It's
own fan
god
base.
awful. Yes, it's what you call a cult classic
Cult.
in the horror genre.
Scarecrow, The Reaping. You ever check that out? No,
No.
I didn't know what it was either.
Yeah.
Universal Horror Hotel,
Okay.
Halloween. I think you will definitely like that one because they stay true to the
Michael
design
Myers?
and the Michael Myers aspect of it. So
Ooh, nice. Do they play the Halloween theme song as you're going in
all
there?
over, even outside.
Oh, shoot. Is
Uh,
Michael Myers creeping up on your ass while you're walking through the house?
yeah, more like jump scares.
Ah, poo. Nah, that would be hell of immersive if like there was an actual Michael Myers like coming to look for your ass throughout the house. That would be some
You
intense
have to.
stuff right
So
there.
what's important too is like it still follows the rules of roller coasters in terms of there's a wait line time of like a 120 minutes.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's one of those
Okay.
things you gotta be in and out. You gotta design just for that. And
Okay. Fair enough.
I guess the horrors of Bloomhouse films, and all those things.
Hmm.
And there's two very interesting ones. One of them is the Weekend After Hours Nightmare. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
from his
I'm listening.
previous album, not Don FM, but After Hours, and it
Oh,
kind of
Weekend the Artist.
Weekend, the artist.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I could tell you, I that was the first one I went to because when I did my research, it was the one that had the longest line. So
Oh.
when I went on there, I think I waited 30 minutes, and by the time I was finished, the wait went all the way to like 150 minutes. So I got there on time.
Holy, good for you.
So I didn't know what to expect, but I could tell you it was the most creative one. It's based on
The
like
album.
the album,
Mm.
just off not even the album, but more like the character that Weekend played in the album with like the
He had
surgeries.
his head wrapped up and
Yeah, yeah,
oh.
yeah, and I thought it was very good. It was interesting. It was because I didn't know what to expect. The
Hmm.
jump scares and the way people kind of get at you, it was pretty good. I liked it a lot, and that was the first one I did. It's almost like
Did you
going to.
fully respect After Hours after looking at the haunted
I
house?
respected the vision. I'm
Okay.
still not too
Okay,
crazy
fair
about
enough.
After Hours. I think After Hours has a lot of cool singles, but the album is okay for me. Um,
Okay, fair enough.
and then Terra Tram. Terra Tram was is normally what they use to kind of drive through the lots because Hollywood Lots is right there.
Oh, nice.
And they did have an interesting lot where when I was walking, it was like a set piece and it was huge. It was like a plane crash. So I was like walking through like a plane crash and like the whole thing was a plane. So using your imagination, imagine how large a plane is. Yeah, that was
Right.
the whole set piece. And I was like, this is crazy.
Damn.
And the biggest fun thing too was there's a set piece which is just like a Michael Jordan, oh, not Michael Jordan. Um,
Jackson?
no, no, no,
Tyson?
no. You're going to correct me. Please do. Us, the film Us, and Nope.
The film Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Sorry. So Jordan
Okay.
Peele had this like it's like a. It looks like the spot in Nope where the guy with the cowboy hat was there, like his whole setup, the ranch.
Oh, that ranch.
The
Okay.
whole over the range thing. So it felt like that,
Yes.
and you walk down, and then you have like us characters with scissors jumping at you.
Oh shoot, yeah. They were advertising that at the end of the movie actually.
So yeah,
Yeah, you were at you were at the Nope Ranch.
yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah. Not the ranch, but
Park.
the huh
The
the
park.
park. Yes, I was at the
Yeah,
park. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Oh shoot, that's tight.
Yeah, it was intense, but it was pretty cool.
Did the fucking alien come and get you?
No, no
Oh
alien,
damn it.
but it was just like the people like looking beat up and like attacked, and then the scissors and everything.
Ah, okay. Okay. Okay.
So they did
Damn.
they did a good
That's
job.
tight.
They
That's kind of cool.
they did a good job with that.
That's cool.
So
Okay.
that
Okay.
was just like a very interesting experience that I had, especially going to like multiple, like 8 haunted houses. Like I think I went to
Wow.
like five one day, the next day did three, then I was chilling for the rest of the day. And that got me thinking about like the concept of haunted houses and how it all
Mhm.
started. And it just kind of falls into the same story about like how Halloween was crafted into the holiday. I forgot the woman's name, but Halloween used to be this holiday where you just mess around in the town and like prank the whole city to the point that it got too abusive and it just caused a lot of city damage where
Mm.
she had to come and create different ideas. So she created like the house party, she created the candy giving, the house town, the haunted house in the basement, in everybody's basement. So I should get that woman's name, but she pretty much crafted Halloween together
Damn.
into one piece. So it's pretty much like
Imagine
one
creating a
person.
holiday. Damn, imagine creating a whole holiday that people celebrate now every year,
Yeah.
every month.
It
Yeah, every year.
and it had to be done because it was getting like out of hand because people were destroying a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really see that often nowadays, but sometimes once it hits November 1st, you'll still see some eggs out laying out everywhere. You'll still see some of that. I normally don't see TP happening or toilet papering. That's not really a I'm gonna be honest, that's not really a black thing. That's more of a suburban thing. I've never seen that where I've lived ever in life. I've mainly seen eggs
Hmm.
and other dangerous things happen. But
I
definitely
seen the
eggs being
spray.
thrown.
I seen people spray you.
I've Wait, what did they spray you with? Like
No, like
just spray
silly
cans or
string.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that before. That's pretty harmless.
Yeah,
The eggs, like that's pretty brutal.
yeah. That's brutal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Can I ask you,
yeah,
real quick, which which haunted houses were scariest to you? Did any of those haunted houses get you fearful at least?
yeah. Oh, I found the woman's name. Her name is Ruth Edna Kelly.
Ruth Kelly.
Yeah.
So R. Kelly basically started Halloween.
Anyways, so what was scary?
That was good.
The weekend was definitely interesting. The horror house at Bloomhouse was pretty cool too. and also the La Lorna, the weeping woman. I thought that was very creepy.
La Llorona,
Yeah,
damn, bro,
I thought
that's a Latino classic right there.
yeah, I thought that was wild creepy. Just
Yeah.
straight up creepy. I don't know what they're doing with those horses, man. It was creepy.
Yeah, there's always a version of La Llorona when you grow up in a Latino household. You always hear about her
Yeah.
or drowning her kids and all of that. Yeah, yeah, I heard.
So you understand the creepiness. I thought that was very
Hmm.
creepy, but overall, it was a very fun experience. And that kind of leads us into what I recommended Gio and I to do for this episode is kind of to craft our own haunted house and how you would do it. Of course, the game is like unlimited budget. Go on and do your imagination. So, further ado, let's start with mine, and then
Okay, I
right
am
after.
excited to hear yours ever since you told me about this concept. Now, one question before we get started. You said money's no issue, all that stuff is no issue.
Mhm.
What about like hocus pocus magic? Like how fantasy can we get in this haunted house? Does it have to be doable, or can we like play with like mythological, spiritual, I don't know, type of stuff?
Yeah, free range. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, cool, cool, cool,
All
cool.
right. So, uh, I'll start the cue whenever you start the music.
Oh shoot, my bad. You want me to play the haunted house music?
Yeah, the one I sent you.
Okay, great. So Bastion has his own haunted house music too, people. So I'm
Actually,
excited to hear
before
the
you play it, let me describe it, and then we'll start.
please.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So my haunted house is called the artificial intelligence, and just like the name, it takes different ideas on what's going on in the environment of AI. And as I speak and explain each of the room, I will explain most of its reference.
Mm,
And so let's start the music.
cool.
It started. All right. So for room 0, I could say, is the entrance. And when you open the door, there'll be like a projector shooting from behind you, and it's like showing you this portal. So the idea is supposed to be like a projection of fiber optic cables, because it's supposed to be kind of this like light thing. So it feels like you're entering into another dimension, only for the time being. So as you walk in the room, the first room you're gonna get in is room A, and I call it post op. So post op is supposed to be like the idea of Elon Musk Neuralink. So in the room, you're just going to have cables, like glowing cables that stretch into a person that's sitting down in a chair with two scientists kind of looking at him, holding an iPad. And this person is strapped down with like half his brain out, almost like Nope. I'm not Nope. Almost like Jordan Peele's. Probably what's the first movie?
Get out.
Get Out. There you go. So that's
Okay.
kind of the concept of just like open brain surgery and adding or connecting you into like the universe of the internet, right? So that's kind of the first scene. That's the first room you see. It kind of gets creepy because the scientists like look at the iPad and kind of stare at you, give you like mad eye contact. So that's visually what you see in the first room. The second room you go to next is called Persona, right? And this one, this is kind of where it gets a little bit interesting. There's the spots where you put your feet in a camera that takes a picture of your whole body, from feet to your head, and that's all it does. So there's a scientist that leads you, makes you take your picture, and then you move on. It's kind of 4 spots, so you kind of keep the line pushing. So in the next room, it's going to be just all like mirrors, but it's more like smart mirrors. And what these smart mirrors do, and they're very similar to the smart mirrors we see today, which is connected to like a Raspberry Pi, and it is what most people use to do like exercises so they could see themselves. So what these smart mirrors are doing is they're taking that image and it's being projected, and when you see your image or you can see other people's image, that's your group, you see like their face deforming, them like looking a little bit different, them getting like parts added to them looking more digital. It's just like, or just wearing like a brand. So it's just like kind of conforming them to like what the internet or what you might want to see yourself. So it kind of like plays on that image, Instagram, for example. And then the next room, so that room's called Black Mirror for the jokes and purpose. The next room is called the break room. So the break room is where you see all the scientists are sitting down and they're eating these like grotesque meals. And this is kind of like the jump scare room. So while they're like sitting down, there's a room full of like fake scientists and real, and some of them just jump at you, and then you just kind of keep walking through that room. So that's just the break room. And when they jump at you with like medical tools because they want to put you in that chair, as you saw in the post-op room. The next room is called copy, paste, and delete. Now this room is one of those see-through rooms where when you're walking around, it's like when you see like doctors do surgery, what they're doing is they're pretty much like chopping the parts and putting them together, so that body that you saw in the first room is pretty much getting chopped up into pieces. Then the next room is going to be interesting because I call this the Raspberry Pi. Now this is kind of going back to the concept of Elon Musk's Neuralink, where your brain is connected to the internet. Hence, this will be like your own personal cell phone, but you don't have to do anything else besides just communicate inside your head. But it's going to be much creepier because what they did is they took your body, which is your mind is already connected to the internet, but they kind of played around and kind of did this kind of jigsaw zombie thing with your body. And you're standing and your brain is like out with like a Raspberry Pi stuck in between it. And the Raspberry Pi is just kind of this small chip that's like connected in the center of your brain. And while you're walking, it looks very creepy because you see different body parts on people and people kind of jumping at you.
It sounds like you're turning people into androids.
It's kind of a mix because as you leave that room, you go into what I call the post-metaverse. And in this one, it's just like a wall. It's like a room that looks like a post-apocalypse like world. And then you have screens, so the floor's like, dirty and like broken cars and stuff. But when you look at the screens, you see like those personas that you took a picture of look like they're like yelling, like they're trapped in like a phantom zone. So it kind of going this concept where they're taking your mind, throwing you in a different world while they control your body at the same time. So it kind of talks about this AI, how the AI is taking over, while they'll just take a clone or take your digital persona, which still exists. Even though it's not you, it's still you. So you still exist. A copy of you still exists, and they're stressed out because they think they're you. So
this man's been watching a lot of Black Mirror recently.
I'd never watched Black Mirror in my life. So that is called the post-metaverse, which is a joke on what Meta is doing, aka Facebook, and how Mark Zuckerberg is just putting all this money in Metaverse to get some thing that's next. I would love to be in that world, but if he's ruling it or he's the one funding it, I'm not really interested in it so much.
Very political haunted house you got there, Bastion.
So when you walk out, the last room is pretty much the projector showing you the same thing, like this kind of like this wormhole, and you're just leaving, and that's pretty much it.
Damn. I gotta say, Bastion, for someone who does not like horror movies or anything in that nature, you're a pretty sick bastard.
Well, I understand about horror movies is it's a reflection of what's going on in today. So as long as you understand how to tell that story, you could really present yourself into sounding like a psychopath.
Yeah, and what I like about this too is although you're not a fan of it that much, this is still very much on brand for you as well. This is very Bastion. It talks about everything that you like, technology, where technology is going. We always talk about the future of technology and how invasive it can be and how invasive that it is getting. We always talk about Mark Zuckerberg being the devil and the dark side that is Elon Musk. He's slowly turning into Darth Vader, and so I think you did a great job sort of incorporating and interweaving that into your haunted house. and you're turning people into androids basically. So you're basically Dr. Giro.
In a way, you become part of the system, and
Yeah.
yeah, not even Android. Like, yeah, it could be androids too, depending on how you reflect in the room of the Raspberry Pi. But you can also
Mm.
just be part of the system now. Now you're really part of the system. And just the last tidbit before it's your turn. So the concept
Yeah,
of being
sure.
part of the system, it reminds me of how, and I think I explained this last time, how when you have Gmail or if you're on WhatsApp or any of these applications, it guesses what you're writing to the point where you could
Yes.
actually just keep pressing the prediction and it could actually complete your sentence. So the thing is, like, we aren't writing. Like, it's not predicting what I'm writing. I'm changing how I write to be similar to how the AI writes. So that's kind of
Mm.
us, like us, the way we type. We're actually becoming the system. Even though they created the AI to predict what we say, we're becoming more predictable because we're
Mm.
becoming them in a way.
Got it.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's actually very true. We
yeah,
are becoming the AI because of how much we rely on that stuff now.
exactly. So yeah,
Damn.
you know what sucks with
That's
the whole
that's very on brand.
with the whole Zoom thing? I can't hear the music,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but
Yeah,
well, I'm assuming it was
trust me.
playing.
It was playing. When you listen, if you, I know you don't listen back to the episode like that,
Yeah.
but trust me, listen back to the episode. It was playing. It was
Okay.
playing as a bit.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, it
Cool.
was. It was. I
Cool.
got you, bro. The listeners were listening. Trust me, I got you.
All right. Cool. But other than that, yeah, I call it the artificial intelligence, and that's my
Okay.
haunted house.
Damn, man. I thought thought yours was a great idea.
Yeah.
Yours and mine's is it's similar in a way because mine's is very political too, but also I think my haunted house is very modern in a sense where um I break you on certain things that you've experienced before, and certain things are very prevalent, and there's certain things that you may love, like music or food, but you're gonna have to eat this food, but you're gonna get it. Trust me when I talk about my different stages that you have to go through. And so my haunted house, when you told me about this premise, I started reading and just getting different sort of influences of things that I like. So one of the first things that I started reading again was the Divine Comedy, which was written by uh, Italian philosopher poet Dante Alighieri. And so this was a whole trilogy, and I think the first poem that he wrote, I think, was the most famous one, which was Inferno, Dante's Inferno. And for those of you who do not know about it, it's basically Dante, which is supposed to be himself. He's going through these different stages of hell with this man Virgil, and so through these stages of hell, each stage of hell, which is uh like a seven deadly sin, like lust and greed and all that stuff, betrayal. It's a different form of torture that each that each victim that's committed these sins are going through.
It's like the
Also, I have.
biggest Catholic propaganda piece. I've read it for Western
Yeah,
civilization
you've read
class.
it.
It's
Oh, of course.
it's
Yeah.
I
No,
thought it was lit, but it wasn't.
it's not
It's
lit.
not lit at all.
It's not lit at all.
Yeah.
It's not lit at all.
It's
But
it's
it's the
kind of
most famous
racist
one.
too. I
Yeah,
think
it is
I
racist
think it's
because
probably the most anti-Semitic like piece out there. That's why
it
I
is
think.
because there's the reason why he's saying that is because there's one stage where there's this part of hell where if you don't obey Christianity, it's like there's like a stage for like Hindus or people who practice Judaism, Buddhism. There's a place in hell for you because you didn't practice Christianity and you didn't accept Jesus Christ within your life.
Yeah.
So
Es-
yeah, that
es-
is
es-
kind of racist actually.
Especially if Christianity didn't exist when you were born, you're on just like this floor of purgatory, and that's all you could go,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah. It's not like you're bad or anything. It's just like you're just there. It's like you're not really tortured like that, but because you didn't follow the way of Jesus
Or you
Christ.
didn't know Jesus wasn't out yet.
Right,
You didn't get the
right.
DVD.
Wait, freaking Moses was in purgatory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that book was trifling. Woo, that
yeah.
propaganda
That book
piece.
is
That
crazy.
propaganda. I heard of Dante Inferno like because it was like a video game I heard when I was a kid, and
Right, of
I
course,
thought it'd
yeah.
be lit. It's like, no, this is literature, sure, but it's not
Yeah,
lit.
it's just literature, but you get my point of the torturing stuff.
Yes, yes.
There's there's also another there's actually a haunted house over in Tennessee called the McCamey Manor, and this haunted house is actually infamous because this dude Russ McCamey, he um you don't really pay money to get into McCamey Manor. You just give the dude 55 pounds of dog food to feed his dogs, and what they do is, he gives you like this 50-page um waiver that you have to read and really understand of what you're getting yourself into, because like all of the crazy stuff, like they bury you alive, they freaking pour fake blood on you, they pull out your teeth, they pull out your fingernails. It's like it's really sick stuff, right? That they do, and they've been getting complaints about this for years now, but for some reason they still do this, and you have to survive that haunted house for like 10 hours. And if you survive, you win $20,000. But before you can even go in, they have you do this fitness test, and they have you psychoanalyze to make sure this is something you really want to do. And then even then, if you really want to do it still, you'll wait like a year to on this waiting list to make sure this is something you still want to do. And once you do it, like he basically made his own torture chamber, and
I
that's
have
why it's so infamous now.
no idea what you're talking about, and that's scary.
This is 100% real. I'm telling you, man, this is
Tennessee, you said?
100% real. This is in Tennessee. It's called the McCamey Manor. It's run by Russ McCamey, who is from California. So I don't know what's up with y'all Californians. I'm just saying. Um, I'm so serious right now. Just look it up, McCamey Manor. This is real. They actually did an episode on Netflix called Dark Tourist where they touched on McCamey Manor a little bit. But if you do some digging on YouTube, there's some participants that went into McCamey Manor, and they had certain things that they didn't want happening to them, but he went ahead and he did it anyways. So it's pretty trifling. People get buried alive. People get waterboarded. Like it's awful. It's bad. I won't do that in my horror house. My torture tactics are a bit different. And then of course the movie Saw. Love the movie Saw. Pretty screwed up movie. I'm sure you've seen Saw once. None of the Saws. God damn. Have you read the book? There's
There's
a
a
book.
book.
There's a book. The book is way more gruesome than the movies. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I wonder who the editor was.
All right, so here is my take of my haunted house. So my haunted house is a storied haunted house, and each level, sort of like Dante's Inferno, is it's trial and error, right? Um, each floor is a different task, and you have a certain amount of time to finish this task. And once you finish this task, you go to the next level, right? Oh, and escape rooms. That's also another influence of mine as well. So let's get into the first room. All right. So you go into the
You have
first.
music?
Well, first off, uh, well, one of my tasks you have to do is you have to listen to some music.
Oh, okay.
It's about 12 minutes. Each track, it's only 3 tracks. Each track's about 4 minutes, and you have to listen to these tracks, all the tracks, right, in one sitting. You can't skip, you can't pause, can't do none of that, right? And this is sort of like the purgatory state. It's something easy, something that I think anyone can finish, anyone can do. But before you enter this door, there's this. It's a red door, right? And it has this writing on it saying, "Hey, by entering this door, you basically belong to us for the time being. And if you want to get out, you can say you want out, but hey, you're not getting your money back. You're not going to win the grand prize. You're not getting any of that. You just need to fess up and say that you're not man or woman enough to face my hell, basically." Okay. And so, Bastion, I have some music here. So let me set up the room, right? You open up the red door, and there's a chair, you have a desk, you have some headphones, you have an iPod, right? You have 3 songs to listen to, right? And this is the first song you hear, Bastion. Hold on. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Let me tell you how much these pussies funk.
I'm not single no more. 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 What you witnessed was a parallel paradigm. You was there, you just wasn't there in time. Turns out she the mankind, very smart and she verifying, and she very kind. Give me kisses in her spare time, and she's very mine. With her hair up in a bun, she surprised me with the lunch. She just tell me when it's done, it's every sign. I be crying in the club, like this birthday is a double. Say this birthday is a double. Now where's my boo?
All right, so here's gonna be song number 2. You gotta listen to, Bash.
Lady, you remind me of my raps on that relapse. Cause you got a nap thick as them accents. To app cheek implants, call that an asset. Cause you can set a glass on it, it's massive. From the first time I saw you, I actually said to myself, I gotta meet her like a taxi. Exactly, love affair in the backseat. Sorry if I'm being graphic, but I'm stiff as a statue you set on a shelf. I feel like I'm a bust. Maybe I'm just ahead of myself. Let me slow down, slow your Camaro. I'm trying to catch up, I'm trying to jump your bones to the marrow. Got me under your control and your spell. Wanna wrap you up, put you in a bowl like an arrow. Grab you by the hope it's not a problem, in fact. About the only thing I agree on with Donald is that. So when I put this palm on your ass, don't snap, it's supposed to get grabbed. Why you think they call it a snap? I just wanna climb in a sack. I'ma keep it 100 like my speedometer's at. I'm watching you rap. I'm the dude following back. About 6 cars, I'm in the lack. And I wanna all day, all night. You ask, I'll stay the night with you. You say you're on fire, me too. I'm burning up, I want it.
Oh man, Bastion is looking a bit irritable right now. And then here's the nice exclamation point where you have to, if you complete this, Bastion, you go to the next level. All right, here it is.
Hate's inconvenience with the convenience store for them jeans.
What's up? I got corrupt. Yeah, man, you know, I hate when people say they gonna do something that they don't do.
I hate it too, because it's just a lot of lying.
See, they need to play this game.
And do it, look at this, look at that. You are so flaky.
Yeah.
That's why your feet are dragging. Don't wanna make it.
Get it together.
But you don't stop your bragging.
Stop bragging,
So
bro.
consistent. Well, I'm dependent on it. So persistence to get this game on going.
I'm all about my game, staying in my lane, dipping down the highway. I'ma do it, I'ma do it, I'ma do it. I'm talking to you, and you. I'ma do it my way, I'ma say what I mean what I say, dipping in the sex trade, monetary accolades. Just don't tell me anything. I'm going and I came, and I've been
Around the world,
around
I've seen it every day.
the world.
No one tells the truth. They line them games at play.
What are these songs?
How you feeling, Bastion? You okay? You good?
That would have been painful. Like, I know the first one was a Chance the Rapper song. Second one's an
Right.
Eminem song.
That was I'm Not Single No More. That was off of, Bastion's favorite album, The Big Day, came out in 2019.
I don't remember that
And-
album. That
I
song
know.
started off good, then the verse came in. It's like, wow, this is garbage. What is this?
Yeah. Again, this is the purgatory state, right?
That's
So the first
painful.
one was, I told you, it starts off a bit painful. It's something that everyone can pass through. So the first song was Chance the Rapper found a good one, Not Single No More, featuring Escape, out of all people, and SWV. The second one was Heat from Eminem off of the infamous 2017 revival album that came out in December 2017. And any clues about what the last
Corey
track
Feldman?
was, Bastion? Corey Feldman featuring Corrupt of the Dog Pound with Lickety Splickety
Oof.
off of course the 2016 Angelic Funkademic Rockadelic to the Core, something like that. And then at the end of every task, I come in and I ask the participant, "Hey, how you feeling? Are you okay?" They tell me yes. They tell me no. If they're done, you keep, we let them go. Bastion, how are you feeling right now? You good?
I was afraid that the third song you will play will be Hobson. The energy was going to Hobson 9 times out of 10.
Okay. That would have been something, right?
Yeah.
But
Cool.
how you feeling now? You good?
Sure, I am feeling it. 12 minutes.
Okay. Well, Bastion, after 12 minutes of listening to bad music, right? I'm sure you must be hungry, right?
Yeah. Go for a
Okay,
snack.
so yeah, no worries. I have a snack for you. So that's the second level, right? Second level, it's gonna be a dark room, right? But it's just one light bulb. And that light bulb is flashing down to the table, and that table shows a nice white plate and 3 Popeyes biscuits. Now, Bastion,
Oh my god.
you have 7 minutes to finish those 3 Popeyes biscuits. No beverage.
You gonna give me a packet of honey?
No, nothing. No jelly, no honey, no beverage, no
I
nothing.
can't pay extra for the lemonade.
No. This is a haunted. This is my torture chamber. You have 7 minutes to finish 3 biscuits. Can you do it or not?
Yeah, I could do it. The biscuits aren't that
Okay.
terrible that people let it on to be.
No, it's not that they're terrible. No, it's not that they're terrible, but they're known for being throat killer biscuits. Like, you need the beverage, but you have to have that discomfort with you for the rest of the torture. Can you handle that? See?
Okay, I gotta go 2 bites at a time.
Okay, cool.
Each
Just
biscuit in
remember,
2 bites.
there you go. All right, cool. All right. So you made it past level 2. Would you like to go further?
This is way worse than I expected.
I told you, like, I'm taking things that people know about, okay, and I'm flipping it on upside of their head, okay. And you're a person of color too. Keep that in mind, all right? Because the further you go, the worse it'll get. So if you want to stop right now, I understand.
Nah, I already ate the biscuits. I'm going.
All right, you want to go up?
Yeah, I'm going up.
All right, so going up to the next level, right? So, Bastion, you are now in a room, and this white woman is in this room as well, and she's asking you all these kind of questions. Who are you? What are you doing here? What's your purpose of being here? You tell them your name. Hey, Bastion, I'm just trying to get through. Blah blah blah. And this lady gets very angry with you because she says you don't belong here, and there is a door right beside her, but that door is locked, and you need to find the key. And she's currently dialing the police, and it's up to you to find this damn key, or else these cops are coming.
All right.
So
I got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes to.
What kind of room is this?
It's sort of like an escape room where you have to find this key. So you'll have different clues scattered out throughout the room, different concoctions, different like paintings for you to find this key. So you'll find clues within the clues on where the key is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a camera there too, watching you too. So the cops are on their way. Like, she's calling the cops. They're on their way.
Okay. So I'm going around, I find some clues, lift something, I find the key with 2 minutes left. All right.
Okay.
So then I open the door.
As you open the door, the cops come in. What do you do?
There's one door or 2 doors?
One door.
So the cops come in through that same door?
Through that same door.
Oh, okay. So I let them come in.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them. As I have the key, I'm assuming it locks on the other side, so I run through the door and lock it on the other side.
All right, I'll let that slide. All right, you live to fight another day, Bastion.
That's a very interesting concept. I don't know how prepared you'll have these actors and like
Oh, trust me. All right. There's actors that are committed to these roles, all right? There's a whole damn movie called Karen, all right?
Yeah.
Passion, how you feeling right now? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so here's the next level for you, right? I know you're not a big fan of horror movies. Black people love horror movies, but there's certain things where, you know, there's certain scenes, certain very infamous scenes that, they see and they are scared of them. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about you, but one of the first horror movies I've ever seen was The Ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in The Ring, there's a tape that you have to watch, right? And when you watch that film, the phone rings and the girl's like, "You're gonna die in 7 days." I want to reenact that whole thing, right? And I want it to be so real that at the end of that video, that freaking girl is going to be coming at you at the television. She's gonna pop out the television to come and get you, and it's your job to try and find a way to escape that room. So you got to find another key to get the hell out of that room. And of course, again, you got 10, 15 minutes because that girl's coming right after you see that movie, right after you see the tape. The phone's going to ring. Gonna die in 15 minutes.
So I'm assuming you're going to have like something similar to that film or...
Yes.
In like, okay.
I'm going to have that exact film where it's just a bunch of creepy
Escape
ass...
room.
Yeah.
Vibe, and I'm just looking for the key. All right, so let's say I do find the key and I just open the door before the girl comes out the video, or it sets in reaction something. No, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so the whole thing is like while you look for the key, you're in fear and you're sweating because
and that girl is coming for you.
And the girl's coming for you. Okay.
Yeah, because you can see her walking to the television, like just like in The Ring.
Okay. All right.
And she's coming out of the television.
Interesting. That's creepy. And that's doable too.
That is doable.
That is doable. Okay. So let's say I do make it out in time.
Okay. You remember those cops from the floor before?
Yeah.
They caught up to you.
Oh my God.
How do you get past them?
I wait until the film is out. Until the girl comes out the TV.
You made it.
I'm
you
in the next room already. Oh, okay.
You're in the next room, and the cops are back.
The last time, like I can't leave. I'm stuck.
And this is the final level too. The cops are back. This is it. What do you do?
Kind of depends on the first thing they do. If they tell me to like freeze or let me talk to you for a second.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Bastion, but there was a man in Texas who got shot while eating McDonald's in his car. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I saw that film.
Exactly.
I saw the footage. I meant to say
exactly. So this is the sort of energy that they're on right now, Bastion.
So with that type of energy, they're yelling. They got the guns out. So you kind of gotta keep your hands up for the time being.
That's it.
And that's the most you could do.
Well, that was a trick question, Bastion, because you're done.
Oh
that's it.
God.
That's the end of it. You're done.
So you're done either or. So what the best?
You're done either or. That's it. It's over. That is the haunted house. I'm sorry. I know it's sad ending, but so is life, especially being a black face in America.
That's
sorry to end it on such a sour note.
I could write 10 articles on how the ending was whack.
I know.
Damn, bro. I don't know. I think you could redo the ending.
I think I can too.
Yeah, I don't know because it was good. I think the trials and tribulations of the room is definitely one of those like you have to pay for experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
50 minutes, like the first few is just easy, then the next two is just really difficult.
Yeah, it starts out really calm, and then as it goes further, it gets a bit more difficult, and it takes the certain things that you love, like horror movies or even Popeye's biscuits, and it turns it on its head as a torture tactic.
Oh, okay, that was very interesting. I like I said, I'm a big fan of the first half.
Okay. I
Uh,
need to find ways to, on how to end it properly.
yeah, just
But
like you just end like I just came up with something like you end it in a church and you had to look for the last key, but there's like a bunch of Bibles and you just gotta keep opening each one of them or something like that. I don't know.
and then the kids start singing "Good Morning, Donda."
Yeah, it's getting louder and louder, and it just
Good
gets more.
morning, Donda. Good morning, Donda.
Yeah, that
Good
was
morning.
weird, but we were in the darkest timeline, and that's the energy you got to give off in the end, like the darkest timeline
Absolutely.
energy. And I do understand the darkest timeline is like rowdy, emotional, over
Yeah,
invested in their job, high school bully cop energy.
absolutely. Yeah, a kid got shot eating McDonald's in his car.
Yeah,
Like, what the?
the cop was fired though.
He was fired.
Yeah,
There should be more that he should be charged because that kid is fighting for his life right now.
yeah, yeah.
Only 17 years old, but sorry to make it so. Sorry to damper on this. I hope y'all were having fun about this haunted house, but
That's
you know
that's life, and
that is life.
you gave it its thriller element of
Absolutely.
personal situations that you go through that you're trained for. You weren't trained for. You're
Right.
taught by age 12 on what to do in XYZ situations.
Yeah, man. Do you want to play some music, or I mean, we only got about 30 minutes left. Do you want to keep going,
I think
or
the last. Well, we could play some of this next song, and then
sure?
we don't have to play the whole thing, and then
Okay,
we'll get into our last topics.
cool. Which song
So
is
this
it?
one's gonna be Lupe Fiasco. Hello, goodbye.
Ah, featuring Uncle. Welcome back to Black Seinfeld show about nothing. Got about 30 minutes less of the show. That was Hello Goodbye from the one and only Lupe Fiasco. Bastion saw Lupe last week. We talked about it last episode. Bastion loved it, right, Bash?
Yeah, this was a very fun song to sing with him in person. So yeah, deep cuts, deep cuts.
Nice, nice. And we hope you enjoy the haunted house feature of this show today. I had fun listening to Bastion's crazy antics. I think he had fun listening to my little torture chamber.
Yeah, yours was great because it's like I participated into the experience.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that you were it was immersive and you were going to be like the test experiment, the test dummy to maneuver through the 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 house
Yeah,
essentially.
I think the
Mhm.
way you designed it was like very leveled. Does have
Mhm.
this movie esque element to it as well, where it could
Mhm.
be like maybe a 45-minute movie or even longer.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and the way I presented it, because I went to like 8 of them over the weekend, I kind of detailed it in the same way as the room aspect. So like the jump scares are like one of the important parts of the haunted houses when I went there to Universal Studios. So I tried
Right.
to design it where you see creepy things in one room and jump scares in the next. So that was kind of like my balance of what I was trying to do. So creepy room, jump scares, creepy room, jump scares. So yeah.
It's almost as if you were describing the movie that I saw this past weekend and one of my Spooktober recommendations, which was Smile,
Mm.
which is from director Parker Flynn, and it is starring, let me get her name really quick, Saucy Bacon, who is related to Kevin Bacon. That's her pops. Of course, Kevin Bacon, famous for movies such as Footloose and Beauty Shop and all those other great movies. And Smile has been a world phenomena here in the U.S. because of its great marketing. I don't know if you've seen any marketing for the movie Smile, Bastion, but
On
what they've been
TikTok.
doing is on TikTok. Yeah, so it's very simple actually. What they've been doing is they've been sending people to different sporting events, so football games, baseball games, and what they've been doing is they've been having people basically smile into the camera very creepily, and they have a shirt that says "Watch the movie Smile" coming out this September. And I thought that's such a great marketing tactic for something so simple, but when you always think about promoting a show or a movie, there's always this big budgeted trailer that comes out, or posters that come out. But something as small as just sending random people to just smile at people, I think that's what got a lot of people interested in seeing this movie, because it takes something as simple of a concept as smiling at someone, which should be something that's wholesome, right? And it should be contagious, right? When you smile at someone, someone normally smiles back, or when someone attractive smiles at you, it makes your day a lot better. But the movie Smile, when someone smiles at you, it means that you're in this damn curse, and people think that you're crazy, because while you see different people, or people that that smile at you in this very menacing way, you're the only one that can see the smile. No one else can see it around you.
That's
hmm
that's kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy, and I think the setup of it is even better, because it's starring Saucy Bacon, of course, and she's a therapist, right? And she works at a mental institute. And so one of her patients was talking about how, these people keep smiling at her, and, I'm a college student, and hey, these people keep smiling at her, and it hasn't stopped, and it's just been very torturous for her, right? And then what happens is, I'm not really spoiling anything away because it's in the trailer. Um, the patient says, "Oh, hey, this person, like, hey, this thing he's in the room right now, but of course the therapist can't see anything, because the person who is seeing the smiles is the only person that can see it. So the therapist is thinking she's fucking crazy. So what happens is, the therapist sees that's very same patient smiling at her, and she committed suicide. And so the way the curse goes is, now the therapist is going to be the one who sees all the smiles and stuff. And, again, she works in a mental institute, and she's a therapist. So imagine her going around to people that she knows and she loves, and coworkers, saying, hey, this thing is happening to me. And I think that's a pretty tight setup.
Interesting.
The problem is, Sebastian, with the movie is, I saw this in a black film. I saw this in a black theater. And I don't know if you know this, people that are listening. Sometimes, and I can say this, so this is not racist, black people can't take certain films seriously. And therefore I couldn't take this thing very seriously. The premise was really good, but they fumbled it a lot. There was a lot of jump scares in it that wasn't very scary. The smiles started becoming less menacing, and a lot more funny. The acting isn't that great, and the story sort of falls flat. And then, of course, what doesn't help is all of the jokes that are cracked throughout the movie. So it sort of takes you away from that sort of high tense feeling into more of a comedy, if you will.
Interesting.
And then, of course, I went to AMC, and AMC they started serving alcohol. So imagine, a bunch of people that look like me that are drinking and watching this dumbass movie. It became a comedy quick. Okay, it turned into a comedy very quickly. And do I recommend you see this movie? To me, it's not that great, but I think you will find some comedic aspect to the film. I think that's what's important.
Interesting. All right. So yeah, I've been seeing more ads for it since it released, especially on the terrible app known as TikTok. I feel like it's mentally more addicting than Twitter.
Oh, it is.
Because the algorithm
100%.
actually changes the more you use it. So I thought mine was too political, but now it's not political enough.
I told you. See, all it takes is for you to just, once you scroll and you see something that you like and you like it, okay, cool. You like that? We'll give you more of that. And so it'll change the very dynamic of how your TikTok will be. You'll be in a whole different landscape of TikTok. And then once you get tired of that, they'll show you something new. Okay, cool. You're done with all the cooking talk. Okay, here's barista talk. Have you seen all the latte art? You like that? Okay, cool. We'll show you more of that. That's how TikTok works.
It works in a very dangerous way.
Mm-hmm.
But time to go over my recommendation. And it's funny because as Gio said earlier in this episode, I do not really consume a lot of horror content. I did not have that older cousin, brother, or parent to teach me the ways
Right.
of the horror elements. So I kind of just went around. Instead, I just listened to music
And,
a lot as a kid.
and he went to Catholic school too, so
Catholic,
that's the thing.
not, not. I went to Catholic school for 2 years, so it's not the
Oh,
same
all
thing.
right.
I went to
My
private
bad.
school for a bit, but no,
Private school.
it's not the Caribbean aspect of sending your child to Catholic school since day one. It was more like
Oh, okay.
a short period of time and switch up right after.
Okay, my bad.
So, what I am recommending is something I actually did recommend last year in October for a manga called Chainsaw Man, and I thought the anime was going to come out that year or at least earlier this year, but they had a lot of productions delay and they never gave a due date because if they want to take something on this level of gore, violence, and a lot of psychological let's say concepts and ideas. I think they wanted it to be animated to like the fullest extent that they could do. It's only like 95 chapters, and I think they're going to produce the whole show. So now it finally came out earlier this week. Episode 1 came out, and I could tell you I'm satisfied with the direction that they're going.
Okay,
And
elaborate, please.
So the show's called Chainsaw Man. It revolves around a character called Dingy, who connects with his dog / demon called Poncho, and since they fuse, he becomes this thing. This like you can't really call it a hero. You can't even call it anti-hero. He becomes this demon. Called Chainsaw Man, where he has chainsaws on his hand and a chainsaw on his face, and he just cuts up and slices whoever is in his way. So that's kind of the premise of the show, and it gets really bloody. It gets really, like I said, psychological. It's interesting. A lot of fun characters, a lot of development, and I just can't wait to see like what's their take on it, because some mangas are done well when it's animated, and sometimes it's done so badly that it could actually ruin the series. But because the manga artist, and their name is Tatsuki Fujimoto, I've been reading their other stuff, their one shots and their old mangas as well. They're really into like the horror element, but also comedy as well. So they have a good blend of both of them, and they're very, very, very good artists as well. So when I got into Chainsaw Man as a manga, read the whole thing, thought this was like exquisite. It was perfect. Never skipped a week, just stuck to it until he took break, and now he's back. I think he took like 6 months off, and now he's back with season 2 in manga form, of course. But now I'm excited for what the anime could bring, and I don't really recommend anime. I don't really talk about anime much in this show.
That's my fault, kind of.
Well, the thing is, there's nothing that interests me enough for me to like, I recommend you to go watch it or go check it out. But in a way, it's more like, hey, Gio, I actually do recommend you checking out this show because I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great experience. You can watch it week to week, or just wait for the first couple episodes to come out. But you, the listener, if you're into anime or you want to check out like something cartoony, definitely check out Chainsaw Man. I think it's on Hulu and like Crunchyroll. So ask your baby cousin's Crunchyroll.
Is there a dubbed version for Chainsaw yet? And if so, is it good or not?
I don't think it'll be dubbed immediately. I think they might dub it in a month or two. They're pretty quick right now. Crunchyroll's acting a little brand new, but I do recommend subtitle.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's more of like, how what I'm hoping is that Squid Games kind of showed, and I hope people watched it in subtitles and not dubbed it. But
I watched it in subtitles.
So Squid Game shows that if you just take the element, like the art it is, the foreign art that it is, because we're America, so everything's foreign to us. The foreign art that it is, like, you will enjoy it immensely more. except for like the kung fu films from the 70s. I think those dubs are pretty fun and interesting and terrible,
Yes.
but also awesome as hell. So yeah, sometimes if you want to dub it, it's because you're ironing. Go watch your dub because you're ironing or doing homework. But to be honest, just chill, sit down, watch a sub. It's only 24 minutes long per episode. So
Right.
vibe out.
Yeah, I normally watch a lot of stuff in just the subtitle version, like that French show Lupin. I started first watching it in English, but I was just like, nah, I don't like these voice actors. This ain't it. So I just watched the subtitle version. I'm like, okay, this is better.
Yeah,
A lot better.
Now it's like drop that show with the quickness. That show's garbage.
Oh, what? You don't like Lupin?
No,
Well,
I
we
didn't
didn't grow up
complain
with that
about it.
book.
I swear I complained about it already.
No, we never actually ranted about it.
You got like the darkest skinned guy
Yeah.
who's trying to camouflage himself, and every character is white. Everywhere. No matter where he is. There's not like another black person in the scene for him to camouflage. It's impossible. He's the only black person in the room. And my brother
there's
is
the black dude that stole his son.
and he's a beautiful dark-skinned black man, all right? I give him that. But
Yeah.
you cannot
He's like
hide.
the Idris Elba of France.
He cannot hide. He cannot hide. He's the only black person in the room. The whole TV show, there's no other black people besides him. So
that is true. Yeah, even his wife is white, right?
everybody, nobody's black. So
Which we should call Dr.
So I do not believe he could get away with this detective nonsense. Not detective, man with many mask nonsense. Like, come on, he did a
master
scene.
of disguise, if you will.
He changed himself to a black dude with a beanie. He's like, dude, you're huge. You're like the only 6'4" black guy here. I'm not being fooled. There's no racism. Oh, all black people look alike. You're him. You're him. You're it. You're that guy. I know you.
You're Lupin.
You're Lupin. You're the dude I saw last week. There's no other, I haven't seen a black person all day. You're the only person. All right. So that's my complaint for the show. I saw season 1 and I said, that's enough. Now it's going to get season 3. So, like I said, beautiful dark skinned brother. You know, he speaks French. Good for him. But the showrunners messed up the show. They're supposed to balance it. At least 50-50 for me to make it believable. 50-50. At least throw like 4. Also, there was a scene in season 1 where, you know what I'm talking about, the prison scene where he switched with the guy. It's like, these brothers are not even cousins. They don't even look like third cousins. All right?
I swear I did not plan for this, y'all. I just made a Lupin reference and I didn't expect him to go off.
They don't look like each other at all. So I believe
we all look alike to white people, Bastion. You know this. You and I are practically brothers.
And
because we have glasses and we're black and we have a beard.
And I have a problem with the show. All right? It's too much. There's no way. Prison guards see these dudes every day. They basically know them. All right?
That is true.
I
agree.
Know them. We know how prison guards are. They're ruthless. They're terrible. They treat people because they know who they are. They could see their faces. They know them. Yeah. They can't say they all look alike. They know them. They go to work, right? It's daycare for them. All right?
You have to suspend your belief with this show, Bastion. And it shows that black people can be superheroes too.
Absolutely not. You know, do the whole show in like Nigeria or something, you know, like Ghana or something, South Africa or something. Make it more interesting. Mm-hmm. You cannot do France. Ivory Coast, they speak French there.
Pot.
Melting pot is a bad thing, by the way, because you're removing one's culture in order to assimilate with the rest. We want a salad bowl. We want to still be together without assimilating. Melting pot is bad. It's not a good analogy. Shout out to D for teaching me that back in college. All right.
So wait, separate but equal? That's what you want?
No, separate is a good thing because we all could learn from each other. Now there's cultural appropriation instead of cultural appreciation. You want to go downstairs to eat beautiful, like, okay, Atlanta had an episode about it. He got great Nigerian food. Switched up. Now the white woman owns a market, a cart selling Nigerian food, but healthy and washed. Come on, I'm not gonna front. I go to Panda Express because I like the shrimp, the shrimp nut thing.
Coconut walnut shrimp?
No, not the coconut. the walnut shrimp, right?
Yeah, that's the walnut shrimp.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that, and I like the
Mhm.
lo mein. It don't give me a headache. But that's all I'm eating over there. And orange chicken. Orange chicken's not real, so it's whatever. But I'm not
real
eating.
chicken.
But I'm not eating anything else. It's called gourmet Chinese food. It is not gourmet Chinese food. This is McDonald's. All right. That's all I eat at Panda Express. I like Panda Express for that reason only. And also, I'm a big fan from Fountain Dr. Pepper. But, that's what I'm talking about. All right. It's appreciation. Melting Pot is not a good thing. Lupin is not a good show. All right. They had to cut and paste that whole show to something else. If it was a white dude, it would be better. All right. I'm going to be straight. If it was a white dude, I'll probably continue watching it. All right.
Wow.
I just don't believe it. I see my brother out
You
there.
hear
I see him.
You hear it here first, folks. Bastion said it himself. Separate but equal. You heard it first. You know who else said separate but equal? Right? Jim Crow, pro Jim Crow people, right? Pro Southerners. They said, hey, we want to be separate, but we equal. That's what Bastion is pulling for here. That's what he wants. Is that what you want, America? That's actually very anti-American, Bastion. All for a damn show that I didn't even think we would spend this time on. Screw that music we were going to talk about. Let's stay on here because we got to leave soon anyways. What you're telling me right now is you want to be a separatist, Bastion. That's what you want and you're out of Queens, New York. All right, out of all places, Queens, New York, one of the most diverse areas in New York City, right?
The most diverse and the what?
No.
I'm from Queens. I understand what Queens is. What is Queens? The most diverse and the.
It's the most diverse culturally.
Nope. That's not the full sentence. Queens, and you can look it up. I'm from Queens, born and raised. Queens is the most diverse borough, but also the most segregated.
That's fair. Okay,
I
fine.
should know.
So separate.
Flushing, Queens,
what you like,
is nothing like Hollis. All right.
That's true.
Elmhurst is nothing like Forest Hills. They're three train stops away. They're two different places. All right.
Or there's mad Colombians in Elmhurst.
All right, man. All my Bengali brothers out there. Okay. All right. I know. I'm from Queens. Steinway? What isn't? That's a lot of Latino people over there.
Yeah, there.
All right, and hookah lounges. All right, it's like, come on.
All right, now you're getting a bit stereotypical. All right,
that's all it is. Steinway's all hookah lounges. You walk down the block, there's a hookah lounge every block. It's not even stereotypical. It's a melting pot. Assimilate or what?
Listen, I didn't anticipate us going down this route. I just mentioned the damn show, okay?
The show is a problem within itself. It has.
I just mentioned the subtitles, Bastion.
Many layers of problems, and it has to do with Lupin, the actor.
It shows.
Like I said it many times. He's a beautiful dark-skinned brother, right? But this
you have to.
But this show is not built for him.
So it's not built for a black man, huh?
Not built for
just
black
like James Bond shouldn't be black people.
No, it's not built for the black eye. Because the black
so James Bond shouldn't
no, it's not built for. I'm saying
huh?
the show isn't built for black people to watch.
Listen,
because you keep looking at it and say, "Ain't no way." That's him. Ain't no way.
There is a suspense of disbelievability. Okay, we can agree and say that, Bastion. All right. But before we sign out, can I ask you one thing? Can we clip this part? And I'd like to put this on TikTok because that was incredible.
Go ahead, do what you want, King.
Thank you very much. And I'm gonna at the dude who plays Lupin too. I'm gonna at him.
I'm sure
he knows.
I'm sure he knows.
All right, great. Well, that was Black Seinfeld, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't have time to talk about the new Dos Compadres album, which we will talk about next week.
Yeah, it gives more time to listen to it. Also, it gives you time to listen to the new Open Mike Eagle album, which I recommend checking out. We're going to talk about next week. A tape called Component System with the Auto Reverse. That's the album.
Okay.
That's the album title.
That's the name of the album.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. I was like, what? Okay. But if you enjoyed the show, thank you so much for enjoying the show, and give us some feedback. Go to blackseinfeldny@gmail.com and give us some good feedback. Give us some encouraging words. Tell us that you like the show. Share us any music that you have. Give us some recommendations on what you think we should talk about in the future. Also, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms, such as Twitter and TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, Black Seinfeld, and Y on all of those platforms, and just Black Seinfeld on the YouTube. And for all the YouTube viewers out there, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it and leave a comment if you enjoyed the show. Thank you all so much for being loyal listeners to the show, and just share it. Just share it out to all your friends and family and stuff like that. And next week, I don't know what the hell I might talk about. I might talk about the hell's going on in LA, what the hell's going on in Stockton, California.
Yeah.
The city council, because like you have to screw up really bad for this stuff to reach all the way to me in the East Coast, because I kept seeing this on the news here, and I'm like, damn, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I thought we had a good black and brown relationships over there in the West, but shoot, I guess I was wrong.
Oh, there is a whole complexity of things that I'll talk to you off air about. So
on my block lied to me.
Yeah,
shoot,
yeah,
they lied to me. They freaking romanticized black and brown relationships on all my block. So with further ado, we just want to thank y'all again. And Bastion, what is the last song we're gonna go out to?
No, I'm a big fan of Rikyo Sakamoto.
Yeah,
they're coming out with like a collab album of different artists. Just kind of recreating one of his best, like a couple of his songs throughout his career. He is sick. I think he has cancer. And Thundercat actually remixed this song called Thousand Knives, but I love the original so much. So I just wanted to kind of play out the original for the end of the show. So check it out, Rikyo Sakamoto, Thousand Knives. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.